Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Jennifer Morey. I'm here today as your instructor for Psychology 200, Principles of Psychology. You're embarking on an 8-week session where we're going to cover the entire textbook, almost the entire textbook, and learn a lot about psychology. This is one of my favorite classes to teach. I'm so excited to start this journey with you, and I hope this video will prove instructive as we start to navigate the course. So again, my name is Dr. Jennifer Morey, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about me as well as a little bit about the course in this video. So what is psychology? When you think about taking a psych course or the topic of psychology, what do you think about? I know when I tell people that I'm a psychologist or when I was studying psychology, I get a lot of comments, things like, can you read my mind? Or what am I thinking about right now? Or maybe can you tell me the future? You know, what's going to happen? And that's not really what we're going to be doing in this course. I'm not going to teach you how to read minds or anything like that. That's not what we mean by psychology. The other big thing I often hear from people when I say, what is psychology, is the idea that it's counseling, or that it's a clinical type of psychology, where you have somebody who's experiencing some kind of problem, they're laying on a couch, and they're having a discussion with their therapist. So they're talking about maybe their problems with their parents in the past, or about different situations they've experienced, and the counselor is providing them feedback. This is a very important part of psychology. So unlike the mind reading aspect, clinical psych, or this therapy aspect, is something we really do see psychologists involved in. But it's far from the only part of psychology. In fact, we'll only talk about therapy at the end of the course. We have a whole lot of other topics, material, and areas in which psychologists are really working and are active. So we'll talk about all of that. So then what is psychology? If it's not mind reading, it's not solely therapy, what is it? Well, a good thing to start with is always a definition, and with psychology what we're talking about is the scientific study of behavior and of mental processes. So it's scientific, that's bolded, because we can apply the scientific method, the same process you would use if you're trying to, play music to plants and see if that helps them grow, which you might have done as a kid. The same process you would use there, the same scientific method, we can take that and apply it to human behavior and to mental processes. And that's what we do as psychologists. So that's what we'll talk about for the next 8 weeks. So who am I? I think it's important when you first take a class to learn a little bit about your instructor, and for me to learn a little bit about you. So to start that, I've kind of prepared a brief intro to who am I. My college education started at Old Dominion. Go Monarchs. So I was here in Virginia, then went on to West Virginia University and to the University of Kentucky for graduate training. And then went to Thomas Nelson, obviously, where I meet you here today. Very excited to be here. I'm a new instructor, relatively new, so very, very excited to be here at Thomas Nelson. My research when I was in Kentucky and West Virginia, my research interests were on emotion and also on stress, health, and coping. So we'll definitely spend some time in those areas as we progress. When I'm not hanging out at work or talking about psychology, my favorite things are spending time with my family. I have 2 young children, as well as reading, walking around in nature, cooking, and watching shows about tiny houses. Love tiny houses. So those are my non-academic pursuits. My contact information, how you can actually get a hold of me if you need me, is listed here. It's also on Blackboard. Email is my preferred communication method, so please feel free to send me an email at any time. I also will be spending time in my office in Hampton campus, which is in Temple and Hall. So if you need me there, we can schedule a time to meet as well. Now that I've told you a little bit about me, I would love it if you all would go onto the discussion boards and introduce yourselves. Say why you're taking the class, what you're interested in, any of that information, just so that you can get to know one another a little bit. Finally, the other big thing I needed to mention is that in order to start the class successfully, the most important thing you'll need to do, other than watch this video, is to go online and really review the syllabus. So read the syllabus. It has a lot of information. It's essential to your completion of the course. Please read it carefully. Print it, highlight it, whatever you need to do to make sure you understand that information in the syllabus. I'm not going to go through it point by point because I know you all can read, but I did have a couple things I wanted to mention. And of course, as you review it, please feel free to ask me any questions you have. We can always discuss the syllabus as well. A couple important points from the syllabus, though, that I really wanted to mention before we even begin is you do need the textbook. So because this is a distance learning class, I'm not going to be there to really have these discussions or to lecture or anything like that. I'm not really going to be there for you to be able to do that. So it's important for you to be able to acquire the textbook and to read the chapters to really understand the material. I'm here to help with anything you don't get or to expand upon points, but I'm not going to be able to give you a traditional lecture or anything of that nature. So you do need your textbook. This course, it's important really to mention off the bat that it is a substantive time requirement. So this class, it will be on your transcript as you took Psych 200. It doesn't say it was a short class. It doesn't say it was an online class. It just says you've met the requirements for Psych 200. So the requirements for this class are the same as they'd be for any other version of Psych 200. The only difference is that we're doing this in 8 weeks instead of 16. So this is a fast-paced course. Please print the last page of your syllabus that tells you everything that's due and keep that close. The graded work for this course, please review this portion of the syllabus and make sure you understand where your assessments come from. But generally, you'll be completing quizzes and exams. All work for the class will be online through Blackboard. And you'll also be completing discussion boards. These discussion boards I call application assignments, and they ask you to apply something we've talked about to your daily life. You'll be completing 4 of those, and it will give you an opportunity to discuss with your classmates, to bring in opinions and other information to your classmates. So hopefully those will be a fun exercise. But that's where your points come from. Please do again review that portion of the syllabus. And finally, make sure you're reviewing the material on what you need in order to have appropriate computer skills for the class, as well as on netiquette. So with netiquette, we're kind of discussing the way that we speak to one another, so please be honest, be kind, share your opinions, but do not be inflammatory towards others, those types of things. That's all listed in the syllabus. You also have to have a functional Thomas Nelson or VCCS email address. If you send me an email from AwesomeDude27, my spam filter is probably going to eat it. So it really needs to be from a VCCS or Thomas Nelson address. Well, that's all I had for this introductory video. I'm really excited to start this journey with you. Please continue working through the starting materials today, and we'll get right in with Chapter 1 this week. I look forward to talking with you. Bye!